Okay.
memorize the test or the questions. They said, no, now it's totally different.
Oh,
Now
I was just thinking.
you have to analyze, evaluate, and reading comprehension and all this stuff. You can't memorize just, oh, I'm going to learn this and this and this. No, no. Analyze.
It's not the things that you know, it's what you're able to do.
Yeah.
Yes, and I know the high schools, the new tests are taking, whereas they used to take one piece of information. Now they'll be given one or two or three articles, and they have to read them, pull out evidence from each of them, and compare and contrast.
Yeah.
And I think the GED students is very overwhelming because, like you said, they can't memorize how to do it.
Yeah.
But if you do it as a group, they realize how much they actually know, and they can go through the skills and apply it together. But and the other thing is current events. So it's a lot of nonfiction, which is kind of good because then you can pull in what's going on in the world, and they're actually more aware. They know more than they think they do.
Yeah, and what you said earlier about make sure that they know the steps that they're following.
Yes.
So you do it, and then afterwards review with them, okay, what was the purpose? Have you read it? So they actually see their steps, and their learning is more transparent. They realize that they just learned something.
Yeah, and that
they
they're
didn't
already
just do what teacher said.
they already knew how.
Yeah, that's good.
So what would this encourage teachers to teach? So you're teaching the skill more than teaching the content.
Yeah, or using.
You're encouraging them to pay attention to the way that they're learning. So you're not just asking them to read, you're asking them to pay attention to how they read, which is powerful, right?
I think the other thing is the what she mentioned over there is the metacognition. How if they're reading intense, having to do this, which is hard, and pulling out what the main purpose is, and then they work together. It's easier for them to stay on task and more aware and simplify it.
And they get to build their knowledge and share it together and not just be told and try to remember it.
Yeah, and then
Again,
you're also dealing
skill.
with speaking and actively listening. So you're weaving it in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I do also for my students when I encourage them to read all the time, not just occasionally, all the time, because in Spanish we have a lot of rules in punctuation. A lot. There's a lot of rules. So I told them you have to read, because remember your brain record information, just some conscious part of the brain, and you're learning through reading, just to read. So I said, well, okay, keep in mind.
And different things.
Different
And
things, yeah.
something, because they're more interested in it, they're going to connect with it. And that's it, the connections among reading.
Used to always going in the same order, but I'm going to make myself fit that for our filming today. So we're going to hear out from tables 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you see as valued? What would the standard encourage teachers to teach and learners to learn? And then share out with the group. That's what we're going to do right now. So these two things. Table 1. Kind of a summary of what your group talked about.
I just think that it's laid out to try to do the most important idea is to try to conceptualize what the purpose is to the students and come up with the best format in order to fulfill that purpose through reading. And according to the